Cool. Are we live? Oh, I think we're live. Sweet. Cool, well, hello. Today I'm going to be working on a binary decimal converter in Ada. So, here we go. Binary decimal, and let's go into not done and our Ada. Okay, so make sure that's loaded. Excellent. Cool. Excellent. So let's go Ada docs, if I can spell. That's not what I'm looking for. Ada, hello world. Okay. Let's grab some for loop. Oh, this is what I'm looking for. Okay. So cool. Okay. So looking at so this is okay. This is all well and good. Let's find some loops. Okay. For loops, so we can get a variable. So let's grab a variable. So let's do an I in expected use. Expected use got in. Right. But why? Cool, let's try this. I'm going to grab a terminal, and in this terminal we're going to run a Linux environment, and package. Package Erlang. Okay. We'll see. %, come on. Excellent. Okay, so let's not make binary decimal dot adb. And we get a compilation error because we are missing a return. So let's return I. No, it doesn't like that. Oh. Should tell it to begin. Then it's not going to complain. Is that not right though? Okay, so I'm going to restart the update. And updating VS Code. That's always fun. Excellent. Okay. So, session contents restored. I am not working in OCaml, fun fact. Okay, CD not done. And let's run that make binary decimal dot adb. Okay. So line 5, it says we're missing a return. I don't know where we need a return. So I'm gonna look at functions and procedures. This is really good documentation, by the way. Like some stuff is just not anywhere there. Okay, so here we have a function explanation where function func returns integer and then we say is. So it takes an integer, or do I need to say, it takes a variable integer and then it returns return integer, and then okay, so now we can begin. Then we can return so we call it whatever we want to call it. So I'm going to call it binary number because we want to take a binary number. Okay, return our binary number. Let's see if this works. Return statement missing following this statement. Right, okay. So now if we run binary to decimal, we get our hello world because we never call this function, but it all compiles, so that's the important part. Okay, so now for the real meat of the program. I'm going to grab a notepad window and okay, here we go. So we need the actual logic. So I'm going to work from some Pascal because it is pretty similar. So let me open up that Pascal. Did I change this? What's... oh. Change. Yeah, white space, okay. Sure, we'll edit that later. Okay, Pascal is going to be there. And let's move this over to the other side. So we have our program, we use these things. We have a function, which is just a bad argument. I don't know if we're going to need that. We'll figure it out soon. Okay, so we need a value. Does this say long? Long in, okay. So we need a, let's define a int, or rather define a value that is an integer. And we're going to initialize it to 0 with a note fix this. And we're going to need a we can do it this way. We need a length, which is an integer, which is going to be equal to 0, which we can fix. And we need an output, which is output, which is an integer. And we're going to initialize this to 0, and we're not going to fix this. Okay. So now we have our variables. Then we can define an iterator, and we're going to use position as our iterator for consistency's sake. And let's see, does eta index from 1 or 0? It does not restrict starting. Okay, they're not restricted. Okay, so it's an ordered pair, so we're gonna need a 0. 0 to length. Missing. Do we need one of these? No, it's still gonna complain. What am I doing wrong? Wow, this goes before the begin. A little bit. Okay, so then get rid of that. Go down. And we're going to stick one of these, and one of these, and one of these. No, that's not right. Variable 1 is an integer, right? Well, why? I don't Yeah, no, the length's an integer, thank you. Alright, but okay. Well, we can try not defining our variables. And so, okay, let's see. After we begin, we can define our value is string, get a length of a string, although first we should get the length. Integer. Press that, I believe. So that's our length, and then into string. No, okay. Data into string. Programming idioms. Okay, so it's an integer image of I. S equals string of I. Okay, so we're going to use this. S is the integer. I believe we need with data dot integer, maybe? Is that right? We're going to need to end the loop too. Okay. And we have this integer image, not of I, but of binary number. Okay, so then we need our length, which is equal to our integer length of value. Excellent. This may not be right, we'll see. And then we need an output, which we're going to initialize to 0. Okay, now for every position in 0 to our length, we're going to loop. And in that loop, we're not going to put hello world, but what we are going to do is store a character, and that character is going to be our value, the position at our value, although this doesn't seem to be correct. So we're going to do Ada caret. And it doesn't exist. So data get character string. Okay, so string first plus index. So our string is called value, and this is also value, and first we can lowercase for consistency, and index is called position. Oh, and we make it an error for everything being lowercase, we'll see. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and then we need to check if the character is 1, then we're going to do this, which GitHub Copilot is helping me with. Do we have else ifs? Imperative language, conditional expressions. If else if character equals 0, then we will do nothing. Else we will not exactly do that, but we will look at what that argument equals. So we're going to exit. Can we do that? Oh, we can. No? Maybe? Data exit. We should just be able to exit program. Okay, we can try this. Not live. Okay. With nat.os. We need to try exiting like this. We'll see if that works. And we also are going to put line that make sure you only input binary values. Okay. And if and loop, and then return our binary number. Okay. So in our main, we are going to first, there we go, put line enter a binary number. Although we don't want this, we want just binary number. Our binary number, which we're just going to call num for the time being, is an integer read input text line, we'll see if that works. And then we're just going to put line binary to decimal with num. And then we don't need this. Okay. This is either going to work great or break and fail miserably. Compilation error. Line 18, we have an else. And they're expecting a statement. Okay. We're going to do this really simply. Eta do nothing. Or actually, we can probably stick a continue. Let me say that. Continue loop. Continue state. Go to okay, in which case we will eta do nothing. Null. Sweet. Null it is. And run. Eta.integer is not a predefined library unit. Okay. Okay, here we go. Now all of our warnings. Value is undefined, length is undefined, output is undefined, character is undefined, num is undefined. Oh boy, okay. So I think we need some variables. So we can say up in here, we can say that we have a num, which is a, no, it is a integer, and we have in here a value, which is an integer, and we have a length, which is an integer, and we have an output, which is an, actually this is, fun fact, not an integer, this is a string, and we also need our character, which is sure a string. Don't know if this notation is valid, we'll find out soon enough. Okay, different errors. I'm going to clear and remake. Input text line is undefined. Unconstrained subtype not allowed on line 8. Okay. So let's replace the symbol value. Rename symbol. The element can't be renamed. What if we do this? And then try to rename the value. You just can't ever rename the value. Okay. Control F2, it is done. We will call this value. Values. Oops. And output is going to be called output. Len is going to be called len. We don't want to do this, we want to return output. Our character is going to be called character. And oh, and then also we need to initialize position is an integer, and that should also be Sweet. Make binary to decimal .adp. And we still get hello world. It's a little bit old. Okay, file name does not match unit name. Doesn't all matter. Unconstrained subtype not allowed. We should troubleshoot that. Unconstrained subtype not allowed. Data. Yeah, so I just need to provide an initial value. Sure. This may not work. No. Position is 0. String is an empty string. We'll see. Okay. Prefix for length attribute must be an array. What? Okay, line 15. Character 16 is right here. And we have an integer length value. This is supposed to be string length. String length. No. Prefix. I'm gonna run this past Google. Now I can try size. Size. Unexpected argument for size attribute. String size of value. I'm not ready to find that. Let's see. 14 prefix of image. Okay, integer. Okay. Unexpected argument for size attribute. Let's run by standard library strings. Okay, so that's the concatenative character. I can modify. Okay. Cool. Find substring. Can you find character? As shown in the example, we could use an exact range for the initialization, or an explicit array. Okay. We could use an exact range, but do we know? Okay, so let's go like this instead of this. And this is going to be a string that is equal to 0. Unbounded string. What? That colon that. Okay. What's the chance no unbounded string is undefined? Cool. I'm gonna wrap this up for the time being. Come back later. I hopefully will have made progress. And until later, like if you liked it, subscribe if you loved it. I've been Mecaneer23, and I'm out.